Hello and welcome to the Positive Choices Show. I am Sasha and I am so glad you're here. And here is where we figure out how to deal with all that stuff that happens every single day when we get lost in the laundry and lost in life and try to figure out how to navigate all the things that life throws at us. That's what here is at the Positive Choices. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for listening in. Let's jump right into this episode. And this episode I will title Frozen. Now, it's not really anything about ice. It's all about letting it go. And if you had a young lady living with you, a young girl, in the last couple of years, you have heard of the movie Frozen and Elsa singing Let It Go. I've heard it probably a million times. But I want to talk about that a little bit today. There's a great quote attributed to Buddha, and while I've read his original quote, they've 21st century'd it. And it goes like this. Revenge is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Now, what on earth does that mean, Sasha? Well, when we hold on to whatever it is that is just driving us crazy about somebody else, the only person that's really affected by that is us. Now, you say, but they really made me mad. Or what they did was wrong. Now, I'm not talking about things that you need to stand up for and decide that this is your cause. That's not what I'm talking about at all. Absolutely go do those things. I'm talking about the things that people have done, or that they do, or that they are, that just bug you. And I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say that we all have that. I'm sure I bug people too. My husband would probably agree. We all have those characteristics that other people find irritating. But it's even more than that. What this is, when I say let it go, I mean, if there's nothing you can do about it, if this is just how somebody else is, then you being upset about it, it bothering you, is hurting you. Because here's the bigger giant revelation, y'all. You're not going to change that person. You're not going to magically make them come to their senses and see the error of their ways, because this is how they are. That's the bigger thing. That's how they are. It's in their DNA. They are just that type of person. So either maybe you take them out of your circle. Maybe you lessen the contact you have with them. Maybe you go, I'm not available for the next 5 years. Because if it's damaging you enough, if it is driving you crazy, then letting it go may mean you just don't have any association with that person, if that allows. Sometimes in your circle, it simply is not possible. But if it's something that you can let go, think about Elsa. If it is something that you can let go and move past and continue on your journey by releasing it, it just takes weights off your shoulders. You know, I think about how sometimes I have just been really angry with somebody because of the way they are. They just really irritated me because they always did this. And you know what? I know that they always did that. That's who they are. That's how they live, and that's them. I get to make a choice. I can accept who they are and how they are and love them anyway and have them in my circle. But that means I have to let go that irritation of how they are. That's the first choice. I can accept it and say, yep, they are going to do whatever. The second choice is I can try to change them. Now, what do you think the odds are that that works? I'm going to slim to none. Okay, slim to none. The third choice is I can remove them from my circle if they are really embedded in the circle. I can say, okay, I'm just not going to deal with it unless I absolutely have to, and then I'm going to deal with it as little as I possibly can. So removing them from your circle. The fourth choice, so we've got deal with it, try and change them, removing them from your circle. And the fourth choice is if they're not really in your circle, just limiting the time that you see and deal with them. So many times we talk about blocking someone on social media, but in real life, we don't have the block button. I'm sorry, I'm going to block you. If only we did, right? If we could block people and just not hear, but you could still see about the things they were doing, that might be pretty cool. But we can't do that. And that's what we're talking about is real life here. So we can't block somebody, but we can limit how we deal with them. So if something is really bugging you about somebody else, the fact that you are letting it bug you, the fact that you are still wrapped around it with all your force is making you suffer. And I have people say to me, how can you just let that go? How can that be okay? And here's my answer to that. And this is what I hope that will be your answer. And this is going to tie into the challenge I'm going to have with you in a minute. This is how I deal with it. Does it benefit me or anybody else in my circle to have those feelings toward this person? If the answer is no, then I realize that it is more damaging to me and the people in my circle, because we know that your emotions deal with everybody in your circle. Everybody feels them. We try not to let that happen, but we know that it does. If the answer is no, that nobody benefits from that, I know that I have to get past it. And the first piece of this getting past it is letting it go. I'm going to release any feelings I have about this issue, this incident, this person. And I'm going to let them go out into wherever they go, into the universe, into the fire pit, into wherever they go. And I'm going to proceed on my journey and focus on me and my circle. So let's go back to that Buddha quote attributed to him. Revenge is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. They aren't going to change probably. So think about that. Here's your challenge for this week's episode. I want you to think about the person, the thing, the incident, the issue, whatever it is. It doesn't always have to be a person, right? It could be something that happened. And I want you to make a conscious effort to let something go so that you are lighter, so that you can travel on your journey without that anger, without that fear, without that baggage that being upset with something or somebody brings to the table. Now, I'm not asking you to go do anything with that just yet. You certainly can. But I just want you to think about how your life would be different, how it would look if you no longer felt that. That's your challenge. That's your true challenge. When you think about the thing that's doing that to you, that's making you angry, that's making you just, when you think about that, I want you to think about how your life would be if you didn't feel that way. And if all of a sudden that big giant aha moment happens when you say, I could do so much more if I wasn't so focused on this. You will know that you have to let it go. You have to release it out into the world, into the stardust, into the universe, into the galaxy, wherever it goes, and let it go. I call it bless and release. I'm going to bless whatever it is. I'm going to bless my feelings. I'm going to bless the issue. I'm going to bless the person, and I'm going to release it. And then I don't have to deal with it anymore. I hope that makes perfect sense to you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out here at the Positive Choices. I adore reading your comments. Please, please, please leave me some comments here on this video. Tell me what you think about it. Tell me if you're going to release something. Let's just hashtag bless and release. Tell me if you're going to bless and release something and let it go so that you can move forward in your journey. I hope you have a magnificent week. I'm sure we'll talk very soon. Be sure and hit that big red subscribe button so that you are first to hear about every new show that airs of The Positive Choices. This is Sasha. Check it out for this week. Have a great one. Bye. Hey, Sasha here. Thanks for watching the Positive Choices show. Be sure and hit that big red subscribe button below so you'll be one of the first to see a new show.